The Nissan Leaf has been thoroughly refreshed for the 2018 model year and buyers are responding quite positively to the updated model. The range isn't great, but it's an otherwise excellent little EV. The new look, tech, and electric drivetrain of the 2018 Leaf have driven its sales to impressive numbers, especially in Japan and Europe. According to electric car enthusiast site Insiders, only about 900 new Leafs were sold in the US in February, but Nissan sold over 3,700 of them in Japan and even more, 3,766 in Europe. That puts it in the top 5 best-selling Nissans in Europe, which is pretty impressive considering EVs made up a minuscule market share worldwide not that long ago. 6.5% of all Nissans sold in Europe in February were Leafs. According to Car Sales Base, it's worth noting that Nissan Leaf sales have been consistently declining in the US. Every year since 2014. It peaked at 30,200 sales in 2014 and dropped down to 11,230 units sold in 2017. Granted, the sales especially slowed in late 2017 with buyers holding out for the new model after it was announced. Could the new model be popular enough to reverse the trend in Leaf sales in the States? Regardless, it's fair to say the new Leaf is a hit on a global scale. Japan, Europe, and the US are the top 3 markets for the Nissan Leaf, and considering its strong start in those markets, it could soon be as ubiquitous as the Altima.
Subaru has released a teaser image for its all-new Forester ahead of the covers being pulled off at this month's New York Motor Show. The Mazda CX-5 rival is expected to go on sale before the end of the year. The darkened image, the first Subaru has released, shows the SUV's C-shaped rear light design alongside the Forester badge. We've seen no other angles of the car so far, but the design is expected to take cues from the Impreza hatch, as well as the Visa future concept from the 2015 Tokyo Motor Show. We know that the Forester will share the latest Subaru Global Platform, SGP, with models like the new XV and Impreza. Expect the brand's trademark boxer engines to form the basis of the powertrain lineup, but Subaru is unlikely to offer a diesel engine as oil burner production will end in 2019. The platform is engineered to accommodate petrol, hybrid and fully electric powertrains, so some hybridization could appear in the Forester to make up for the loss of a diesel. Like the XV, it will feature Subaru's CVT transmission across the range, as that's the only gearbox that can be combined with the firm's range-wide eyesight camera-based safety system. 4-wheel drive will feature too. Expect more details of the new Forester, along with extra teaser images, to emerge prior to the car's official unveiling on March 28.
Tesla has delivered about 10,000 examples of its Model 3 sedans so far, but has thus far failed to deliver on one important item that was central to why this model garnered so much hype: its $35,000 base price. According to Tesla, first U.S. deliveries of the standard range, 220-mile, version of the Model 3, still expected to start at that price, now aren't due until late 2018 inches, while dual-motor, all-wheel drive Model 3 versions are expected to start in what the company terms mid-2018. The cars produced so far have been the single-motor version with a longer-range battery pack, a configuration that carries a plump sticker price in the low to mid-$50,000, as nearly what the original Model S was supposed to start at 6 years ago. The Model 3, however, has been championed as Tesla's mass-market car, one that could effectively cost $27,500 or less, just $25,000 to California customers who can take full advantage of the Golden State's Clean Vehicle Rebate Project, CVRP, rebate and a $7,500 federal EV tax credit. But the base version may arrive into a very narrow window in which buyers can take full advantage of those incentives. Tesla expects to reach the federal tax credits cap of 200,000 vehicle deliveries in late 2018. That would trigger a year-long period in which the amount of the credit would step down, first to $3,750 for 6 months and then to $1,875 for another 6 months, before expiring altogether. Tesla continues to grapple with a conundrum that's quite different from what other automakers face with their own fully electric cars. Hundreds of thousands of people want the Tesla Model 3 and have laid down $1,000 deposits for it, yet the factory can't produce them quickly enough. Although Tesla hasn't provided any recent update on production or deliveries, Bloomberg News Model 3 tracker, which is informed by government sources, Tesla owners, and social media, including an analysis of VIN data, estimates that Tesla is now up to a production rate of 805 Model 3 sedans per week, with 10,636 produced so far. In its most recent quarterly financial call, on February 7, CEO Elon Musk pointed to issues with battery module assembly as being primarily to blame. At that time, Musk said that Tesla hoped to fix some key pinch points and reach a production rate of 2,500 cars per week by the end of March. But a week short of that date, it's still far from that near-term goal. And when it has such a backlog of customers wanting a Model 3, any Model 3, the company has little incentive to deliver on the affordability promise any sooner.
One thing about electric cars is that at some point they will become old electric cars. And old electric cars have old batteries, which are a terrible thing to waste. No matter if they're in a car that has reached the end of its usable life, the batteries might still serve a purpose, or they can be recommissioned. The first generation of the Nissan Leaf was introduced in 2010, meaning that the batteries in the oldest Leafs can now be ripe for picking. Together with the 4R Energy Corporation in Japan, Nissan has started a project that will provide the Japanese town of Nami with lighting, using solar panels and used Leaf batteries. Nami was significantly damaged by the tsunami that caused the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in 2011, and these streetlights are part of the town's ongoing rebuilding efforts. The hook-shaped streetlights are completely standalone, meaning that they do not require a functioning main power grid to operate. While it's churning out more and more electric vehicles, Nissan recognizes that in the future there will be a lot of decommissioned electric car batteries, and if they can be used to get an entire town back from the darkness, that's a worthy second act.
Subaru Corporation is a small automaker compared with their Japanese rivals, Toyota and Nissan, but it isn't stopping them from developing new EV technology. Subaru is getting valuable help from National Instruments in Austin, Texas. They are using NI hardware in the loop, HIL, technology on their all-new 2018 Subaru Crosstrek to simulate actual road conditions for electric vehicle testing, eliminating environmental factors to reduce test time and costs. The press release from Business Wire says instead of conducting expensive vehicle tests using production vehicles on test courses or public roads to check the vehicle's performance and safety response, Subaru is using NI's virtual environment, saving the Japanese automaker time and money in developing software that will be used on their new generation all-wheel drive EV vehicles. The NIPXI products and LabVIEW software allows Subaru's Crosstrek to be efficiently tested with an embedded controller in a virtual environment before running real-world diagnostics on the complete system. This will help Subaru reduce development times by 90%, lower purchasing costs by 33%, and reduce labor hours by half compared to conventional development methods. Daisuke Miiguchi, Electrified Power Unit Research and Experiment Department, Subaru Corporation said, "By using NIPXI products and LabVIEW, we were able to completely implement a customized HIL system in just 1 to 2 weeks and develop our software in-house. This helped us keep product purchasing costs to around 1/3 of the cost of adopting solutions from other companies, and, because of our familiarity with LabVIEW, keep our software development costs to around 1/6 of the cost of commissioning an outside developer." The report says Subaru Corporation also outfitted the new Crosstrek crossover with a controller-driven dynamometer by Hariba and CarSim vehicle dynamic simulation software deployed by Virtual Mechanics. The two technologies allow engineers to produce load conditions equivalent to those generated on actual roads. Subaru will announce a new plug-in hybrid later this year, and is in the final stages of developing an all-electric model due out in 2021. The newly redesigned 2018 Subaru Crosstrek could be the first model in the stable to be fitted with EV technology.